Okay, the other story, the city of Cleveland. Next year, June, will be the 50th anniversary of the burning of the Cuyahoga River, which is in the center of the city. It fills into one of our Great Lakes, Lake Erie. It was so polluted with grime from steel mills and other things in June of 1969 that it caught on fire. It took about 3 days for the fire to burn out. At that point in time, it became known as the mistake by the lake. That was how it was Cleveland's image in the talk shows on television and things like that. And then there were attempts to, counter that image. Several years they won American City of the Year or something like that award. However, just recently, somebody else's survey, one of the most, if not the most miserable city in the United States. So there's been this constant kind of struggle with identity, but that burning of the river was like a stake in the ground that's very hard to move in people's images. Even new generations, they all hear about this story and the jokes that people tell. Well, 2009, our mayor had this idea that he knew 2019 would be the 50th year of this infamous burning on the river. And so he had this idea of a 10-year program to become a sustainable economy. And you'll see the title here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's back here. To build an economic engine to empower a green city on a blue lake. That is the affirmative AI topic that was created in a stakeholder steering group of about 45 people that represented all aspects of the city of Cleveland. We brought them together in preparation for a Sustainable Cleveland Summit in 2009, which would be the beginning of a 10-year project, and this became the topic: building an economic engine to empower a green city on a blue lake. Okay. The steering group and the stakeholder groupings for the first summit, I know you can't read the small print back there, but large business, small business, union, labor, media, academic institutions, scientists, technology experts, nonprofit, philanthropic associations, arts, culture, students, government elected officials, nonprofit, what NGOs are in the rest of the world, we call them nonprofits, art, culture, youth leaders, government elected officials, as big a mix as we could get of the representation. Clergy should be in there somewhere, the religious, yeah, I don't see, but they were there too. We had a couple of classes from local high schools come. So 600-700 people each year come to a 2-day summit. And the first summit created all these work teams. So they did their discovery, they did their dream, they brainstormed ideas, they voted on them, they formed about 30 action teams, action groups. Over the 10 years, a number of those groups have finished their work, a few have disbanded, some have turned into businesses, and each year, 1 or 2 new ones get formed. We're in our 9th year. This September will be the 9th summit. Next year will be the 10-year celebration. I think right now, actively, there's about 22 working groups. These groups are totally self-managed, led by the stakeholders. They don't report to the mayor. They can't get any money from the city. The city doesn't have any money to give them. If they need money, they partner with industry or they go after grants with foundations, things like that. So it's a large story of community involvement and self-organizing with both failures, groups that start and just don't maintain momentum, or they flop, or they disintegrate, and groups that go all the way to becoming businesses with new jobs to offer and things like that. This is our public auditorium. This was the first summit. Again, just under 700 registrants, 2 days, and I'm going to give you another brief image.
I just can't tell you how excited and happy I am to be a part of what is going to be looked back on in history.
The summit is about acting on something, not just having a conversation. It's about doing something for our future, not waiting on someone else to determine what that is.
The mayor bringing together all these people, it's unprecedented. It's never been done before.
Sustainability is not just a concern of the environment, it's an opportunity for economic development.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and there's apparently great will here in Cleveland. Cities are so central, and why it's so important for sessions like this to come together, and not just come together, but to commit themselves to a course of action that really puts our country on a different trajectory.
Really positive examples of change I can think of are when people kind of get it together to start living together differently locally.
It's a process where, because the people create the vision, they automatically see their role, what role they have to play in making sure that the vision gets accomplished.
This moment is so different. What we've learned from the past, what we've learned from past strategies and programming has taken us to this point. Just a so different time. And now it's all possible. I might not have believed that 20 years ago, but now I do.
We're creating that vision collectively with 700 people in the room, rolling up our sleeves.
Everything that we've done today and the past 2 days has never been done before in Cleveland. The energy that is in this room is so positive. It's so rewarding to be part of this process. And it's one of those things that you're just so proud to be from Cleveland.
There's enough passion and commitment in this room that's going to happen, that we're going to be able to harness what we've put together here and that momentum and move it forward.
Again, I know you can't read all. These are the 28 working groups that started in the very first summit. Between the first and the second summit, one of the groups started working on a climate strategy plan. And they went out and found funding from corporate partners to have a company come in who did 300 stakeholder interviews. And they came back with a model that there would be 8 sort of avenues or channels of work. Energy efficiency, local foods, renewable resources and advanced energy, zero waste, clean water, sustainable mobility, clean green spaces, and vital neighborhoods. They would all be simultaneously worked on, but each year one would be a highlight focus. So this year is the year of vital neighborhoods. Our guest speakers are going to all be from large neighborhood movements throughout the U.S. The neighborhood work team itself will be featured in terms of sharing the details of some of their excitement. But then the rest of the summit, all the teams will have stage or space for future design, for accelerating what they're doing. Out of that came an action plan with 32 metrics. And so each of the work groups has to align or connect with multiple metrics that relate to their work, so that there's a way to account for progress, there's a way to account for are we changing or not. So those 2 stories, I just wanted to give you an image of sort of possibilities. That things can happen in those large assemblies. But again, the same process could happen with 30 people, with 45 people. The key thing that I want to leave with you in the room is today, there's an observation that has come out of this kind of work. We've done over 4,000 interviews to collect stories of businesses innovating for world benefit. Businesses doing innovative things that give benefit to the business and benefit society/ecology. 4,000 of those. We've done at least 100 summits where the topic has been something about sustainability. There's many other summits with other kinds of topics: throughput, customer service, employee engagement, things like that. But specifically where the topic has addressed sustainable future or flourishing futures. The key observation is, it is, in our experience, the strongest way to ignite employee creativity and engagement. The strongest way is to give them that kind of a question, a calling to figure out, how can we be a higher purpose, a sustainability purpose-driven organization? In addition to that, the lesson is, if you invite people into that kind of a conversation, it also reflects back on day-to-day work, whether it's in that open community context and in the more defined organizational context. So we wrote recently, there's nothing that brings out the best in human enterprise faster, more consistently, or more powerfully than calling the whole organization to design sustainability solutions to humanity's greatest challenges. As people come together to accomplish, bless you, as people come together to accomplish doing good out there, doing good for society, for the planet, as they come together to do that, by that we mean concentrating and connecting their strengths in service of building better, higher purpose organizations or communities, they also begin to activate the mechanisms for their own and others' flourishing. But basically what we're saying is, if you're an organization or an agency or whatever, and you want to do good for your staff, your employees, and whomever your immediate customer or end user or beneficiaries are, you could use AI to focus on that. And we know you'll get some progress. We know that you can get positive change out of that. You can get more, multiples of energy, investment, and ideas on those things by first asking people to think bigger, to tackle sustainable solutions for a larger impact. It's motivating, it's engaging, it is tapping into something that is universal, we believe. We're just kind of beginning to try to find explanations for this, but the observation is so consistent. So even in your work within your different agencies and groups, the observation would be, how can you even expand the question, the invitation? And by doing so, the stakeholders you engage will give you the return in their everyday work, in their current projects, in their current teamwork, in their current engagement with clients or customers and things like that. So it's just it's a magnifier, it's an accelerator to ask this larger sustainability question that you all are already attracted to. Okay?